Welcome to the Brain Alpha. Have you ever set a massive goal, sworn up and down that you're going to completely change your life this time, only to drop the whole routine just like a week later? I mean, it's incredibly frustrating. You end up feeling like there's something totally wrong with you, right? Like you're just hardwired to be a habit dropper. Well, I'm here to validate that frustration, because the problem actually isn't you at all. In today's Explainer, we're looking at a brilliant framework inspired by Leila Hormozi. If you don't know her, Leila went from working basic hourly shifts to becoming a self-made entrepreneur worth over $100 million by her late 20s. And she didn't do it by just gritting your teeth and powering through. She did it by literally engineering her life.
Okay, let's dive into this because this requires a massive shift in mindset. You know, most of us are taught that if we fail at a diet or a new workout plan, we just didn't want it badly enough. We think we lack inner strength. But relying on sheer motivation is actually a massive trap. Motivation is a feeling, and well, feelings change all the time. So instead of relying on something as flaky as willpower, we're going to explore a highly structured framework. We're going to learn how to design your life so that your new habits become entirely automatic. We are effectively taking willpower out of the equation entirely.
So here's our 5-step roadmap. Number 1, eliminate all temptations. Number 2, replace, don't erase. Number 3, minimize daily decisions. Number 4, lower the action hurdle. And finally, number 5, embrace the boredom. If you follow this structure today, we're going to permanently delete the phrase habit dropper from your vocabulary. Let's get started.
Principle number 1, eliminate all temptations. Simply put, your environment dictates your success. Imagine this for a second. You've had a perfect day on your new health kick. You ate a salad for lunch, you crushed it at the gym, but now it's 11:30 p.m. You're exhausted, you're standing in front of your kitchen pantry, and staring right back at you is an unopened, family-sized bag of your absolute favorite potato chips. Be honest with yourself. Are you gonna win that battle?
Probably not, and here is exactly why. Think of human willpower like your smartphone battery. As you use apps throughout the day, the battery drains, right? Well, willpower depletes in exactly the same way. Every single time you resist checking your phone at work, or every time you politely smile at a rude customer, you're draining that battery. By the time evening rolls around, your willpower battery is basically at 0%. Whether you're a professional athlete, a billionaire, or just a regular person trying to get by, if there is easily accessible junk food in your house at night, you are absolutely going to eat it.
So you've got to audit your distractions and truly engineer your environment. First, compare your ideal 24 hours to what you actually do. You know, like catching yourself falling down a 2-hour YouTube rabbit hole when you actually meant to study. You have to make breaking your habit horribly inconvenient. For example, if you want to stop late-night snacking, do not keep snacks in the house. Force yourself into a situation where, if you really want that junk food, you have to put your shoes on and walk 10 minutes to the nearest 7-Eleven in the cold. I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, you'll just say, forget it, and go to bed instead. Move your phone charger out of arm's reach. Turn off the notifications. Say no to the people who derail you. You have to actively protect your environment.
Moving on to principle 2, replace, don't erase. It's time to bypass your brain's alarm system. Trying to go cold turkey usually causes this massive, painful rebound, where you just end up binging on the exact thing you swore off.
The science behind this whole rebound effect is a concept called homeostasis. Basically, this is your brain's subconscious mechanism to maintain the status quo. Your brain is entirely wired for survival, and to your brain, the familiar is safe, even if the familiar is a really bad habit. When you make a massive, sudden change to your lifestyle, your brain perceives it as a literal threat to your safety and actively fights you to go back to the way things were. Your own brain literally hits the panic button. So how do we trick the brain? Well, we replace instead of erasing. Leila Hormozi actually struggled with this firsthand. She used to have this drawer full of candy, and when she tried throwing it all out to diet, she felt totally miserable and lost all her motivation. So she replaced it. She swapped the candy in her desk for chewing gum. It gave her the exact same physical satisfaction of reaching for a treat, but without the massive calories. Or if she got invited out to a burger joint with friends, she'd drink a heavy protein shake right before she left the house. That way, she was already full and naturally ate less without feeling deprived. Pretty smart, right?
Now, this step-down approach works wonders for incredibly stubborn habits too. First, you identify the bad habit, let's say it's smoking cigarettes. Then you step down to a slightly better alternative, like e-cigarettes. Then, slowly, we're talking over months or even years, you reduce the nicotine dependency in those e-cigarettes. Finally, you reach zero dependency. Look, it might take someone 3 full years to quit this way, but the whole point is it actually works permanently.
It's all about smoothly transitioning your behavior so your brain's homeostasis alarm never goes off, rather than rushing the result and failing entirely.
All right, principle 3, minimize daily decisions. Stop wasting your brain power. Do you ever feel completely exhausted by like 9 a.m. just from trying to pick out an outfit, figure out what to make for breakfast, and decide what podcast to listen to on the commute?
Well, researchers at Cambridge University suggest a truly staggering number: 35,000. That is roughly the number of conscious and subconscious decisions we make every single day. And every single one of those decisions, no matter how tiny, chips away at your daily energy reserves. And this brings us right to decision fatigue. Let's compare Sam, who spends 15 minutes stressing over his outfit and breakfast, debating between making eggs or pouring a bowl of cereal, and trying to decide which route to drive to work. By the time Sam even sits at his desk, he is mentally drained. Now contrast that to the late Steve Jobs, who famously wore the exact same black turtleneck and jeans every single day. Why? Just to save mental energy. Successful people pre-plan their lives. They pick their workout clothes the night before, they meal prep so lunch is automatic. If you really want to successfully build a habit, you must eliminate the daily negotiations with yourself. Make your decisions once and then automate them.
Principle number 4, lower the action hurdle. Basically, set the bar so low you absolutely cannot fail. You know, when we get that sudden burst of motivation, we often set up what I call a burnout scenario. We decide we're going to completely transform our bodies by forcing a 4 a.m. hardcore heavy lifting workout every single day. If you aren't used to this, it hurts. You're exhausted, and guess what? Your brain logs that pain not as a reward, but as a punishment. So your brain will do absolutely everything it can to make you stop. Compare that to the micro habit. Instead of that grueling 4 a.m. session, you commit to just 5 minutes of stretching in your living room. It's so easy, it feels almost too simple, but that is the secret.
You absolutely have to lower the barrier to entry so much that you can maintain the habit even when it's raining outside, even when you're dead tired, and even when you're traveling. Want to build a habit of keeping a clean house? Just start by simply wiping down one table a night. Want to read more? Don't force yourself through a dense textbook. Just listen to an audiobook during your daily commute. Want to ensure you actually exercise on a business trip? Pre-select a hotel that has a basic gym so you don't even have to leave the building. Build a system that guarantees you a tiny, easy win every single day. Those micro wins stack up, and your brain actually starts to crave that easy sense of accomplishment.
Finally, we arrive at principle 5, embrace the boredom. Because let's face it, true consistency isn't always sexy. Once you've removed the temptations, automated your decisions, and lowered the hurdles, you are going to be doing the exact same thing every single day. And honestly, that gets profoundly boring.
Just consider the typical timeline of trying out a new habit. Day 1 is super easy. You're completely fueled by excitement and high motivation. It's new, it's fresh. But jump to day 15, the novelty has completely worn off, the routine feels repetitive, it feels tedious. You start thinking, is this it? This is kind of boring. Maybe I should try a totally different program. Now this is the danger zone where most people quit, but you have to realize that this feeling is temporary. If you can just push past that boredom and hit day 30, something magical happens. The action becomes fully automated. It no longer requires effort. And more importantly, doing what you said you were going to do builds massive, unshakable self-esteem. You actually start to see yourself as someone who executes.
So the ultimate secret to building incredible capacity and self-respect isn't about being hyped up all the time. It's about showing up when it's utterly mundane. So I leave you with this final thought. Are you ready to embrace the boredom, stop relying on willpower, and finally meet your future self? Apply these 5 principles and watch how effortless your success can become. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build the hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.